Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we have another mod update. The mod is called the Age of Ores, and this is the second update that expands upon Minecraft 1.21.9, the Copper Age update. Let's do this showcase video a little bit different this time, and we're going to go through them in categories, and you'll see the categories shown on screen before I start talking about them. So let me know what you guys think of this new layout, and if you have any feedback or suggestions based on it, then do let me know in the comments. Before I jump to the changes and new features in this update, the Age of Ores mod is now available on Modrinth. So you can now download the first and second update on Modrinth as well as CurseForge. Both of the links will be in the description. So, under the category of changes, the first one, Amethyst Armor, Amethyst Tools, and Amethyst Horse Armor is now under a experimental toggle. And this is just because a lot of people didn't like the idea of it, but we thought it was still good to keep in the game for the people who do like it. So you can still get these features, but by default they will be disabled, and you have to enable them in the experimental toggles. Now the second experimental toggle we have added is to do with copper buttons. And this is the length of the tick when you press a copper button will now depend on the oxidation stage. But once again, this is only enabled with the toggle. So if you have the toggle disabled, they will all be pressed for the same amount of time. But if you have this enabled, you can see pressing the normal one will stay pressed a lot less than the oxidized version. So this means you have a longer pulse with the more oxidized versions. And once again, the reason this is behind an experimental toggle is because this can be confusing for players to understand. But if it's something you want to mess around with, you can now enable it. So for anyone who don't know how to enable experimental toggles, I will quickly just showcase that you need to go to create a new world, and then you go to more, and you can see experiments. If you scroll down, you can see Amethyst Armor, and you can see copper duration. Now let's cover a few other changes. The first change is with the Tuff Golem statues, and this is you can now shear the carpet off of them, and this is just to save time. So if you don't want to break the block to get the carpet back, you can now just use shears. Now we have also fixed a bug where if you gave them an item, their nose would shift up by 0.1 of a pixel. Well, you can now see this is fixed and their nose will no longer move. Jumping to the final few bug fixes and changes, we have made it so the items inside the filter block now render a lot bigger, and they are also rotated correctly, just so it's a lot easier to see what item is within the filter. And the final change is a lot of people wanted the iron blocks and the gold blocks to be a lot cheaper. So now if you throw them inside of a stone cutter, you can see the amount you get out in return is a lot more. So crafting them in a crafting table still gets you very little, but if you use a stone cutter, you'll be able to get 4 times the amount. Now we are jumping to the new features, and the first one is the Tuff Golem. The Tuff Golem is summoned with a tough block and a carved pumpkin, and you can see this will get a new entity. Now you can also click a carpet on them and it will decorate them with that colour of carpet. Now what do the Tuff Golems do? Well, they will randomly walk around, and if you give them an item or throw an item on the ground, they will slowly walk up to that item and pick it up, as you can see right there. You can also click them to get the item back if you don't want them to hold it anymore, but they will only pick items up off the floor, and they can only pick up one item. Now this Tuff Golem has an item in its hand. If it reaches nighttime, the Tuff Golem will go back to its home position. The home position is the block it was spawned on, so it was roughly around this block right here. You can see it is slowly walking back here. It does take quite some time, but it will eventually make its way back. And upon doing that, it will snap in to the grid, kind of like how the Happy Ghast works. And once it does so, there is a random chance it can turn into a statue. And you can see this one did. Now, upon them turning into a statue, there is no way to get them back into an entity. But this is also the new way to obtain the statues. They no longer spawn in caves. And also, if they turn into a statue while they are holding an item, the item will stay within their hand. And you can see I can now interact with this one to take the item and give it back to them. But you can see right here, this entity has snapped to the grid. So when they snap to the grid, they will face either north, south, east, or west. And you can see upon punching them, they will not be able to move. They also cannot be pushed. And once again, this is only at night time. If I quickly just sell it back to day, this one will now go walking around again until it reaches night time, and then once again it will go back to its home position and snap to the grid. They will also not be able to turn into a statue until they are at their home position. Dark iron. This is a new block set that is a darker version of iron just to match up with things like lanterns, and it comes in every type of item that normal iron comes in. So you can see we have the normal block, we have chiseled, grates, we have cut, we have bars, we have doors, trapdoors, and then we also have chains and the pressure plate. Now with this, we have made some changes to vanilla items, and I normally don't like doing this. So let me know what you guys think of this, because if this is something you guys don't mind, we will probably do it more in the future. But the change we have made right here is when you craft things like chains, so if I quickly just try to craft some, it's the other way around, you will see we will now get a iron chain, but this iron chain uses the white texture rather than this darker texture. You can still get the darker texture, but it's not the one you get by default, and this is just to make a bit more consistency with the color of iron you are crafting with. Now I'll cover how to get the darker variants in a second, but this is also the same with lanterns. So if I try to craft a lantern, you can see it is now white instead of the dark color. And this is also the same with the soul lantern. Once again, you can see it is now white instead of the darker color. And to get all of these dark variants, you just need to throw the white version in a stone cutter. If I want a dark iron door, all I need to do is grab a iron door, throw it in a stone cutter, and I can transfer them one for one. Once again, let's quickly just showcase it with the lanterns. Throwing the lanterns in will now get me the dark soul lantern. And this now makes iron a bit more consistent. But once again, it does change some vanilla recipes and vanilla names. So let me know what you guys think of this. Is this something you would like us to do more? Or is this something you would like us to avoid in future? Now, along with dark iron, we have also added a diamond. Diamond is now a block set you can decorate with. We know that this is probably going to be very expensive, but if you are rich within your world, now you can build with it. So we have diamond slabs and stairs, we have diamond bricks, diamond pillars, chiseled diamond, and then smooth diamond. And this is to match up with the amethyst block set and also the quartz block set. And the crafting recipes for these are like so. I'm going to quickly go through them so you can see. They are pretty much just the same as every other block set within the game, just with diamonds instead. And you can also craft these up in the stone cutter if that is something you would like to do. And the block set you have all been waiting for, Netherite. We have chiseled Netherite, we have Netherite grate, we have cut Netherite with slabs and stairs, we have Netherite bars, we have Netherite doors, trapdoors, and also Netherite chains. And then we also have Netherite pressure plates. Now, all this is very expensive to craft because it does require Netherite blocks. And once again, we could look into ways to make this cheaper if that is something you guys would like. But this is not meant to be a block set that everyone builds with. This is something for people who have their Minecraft worlds for ages and want to flex their resources. Now, we have also added a Netherite nugget, and this is a bigger nugget because it is more reinforced. And this is just used to craft the Netherite chains. You can see we have the chain recipe, which is the same. We have the bar recipe, and all the other recipes are like every other block, just using Netherite instead. We have also expanded upon lanterns in this second update, and we've added consistency between all the lanterns in the game. So for example, Netherite, we can now get a Netherite lantern, which comes in normal form. It also comes in soul form and copper form. We then also have gold lanterns, which comes in normal form, soul form, and copper form. And if I quickly just show you the crafting recipe for these, you can see the recipes for them are the same as the iron ones, just using the gold nuggets instead. But adding these two types does not create consistency, because there are quite a lot of lanterns within the game. So we've also added a lot more. So to match up, we have added dark lanterns, which these two are the default lanterns within the game. These are no longer gotten by the crafting recipe. These are now gotten from the stone cutter. We also added the dark copper lantern. Now the normal lanterns also have a white copper. So that is a lot of lanterns that you can now decorate and build with. There are also chains for all of these, so you can match the chains up. And we're not finished with the lanterns just yet. We also have copper soul lanterns. These are soul lanterns that have the copper texture. They do also come in all the oxidization stages, so you can see from normal to oxidize. They do also come in wax versions. I'm not going to show them because they use the exact same texture. And along with the soul, you can also get copper warm lanterns. These, once again, come in all the different oxidation stages, and they use the orange texture. Now, I know a lot of people wanted to see lanterns like this in the Copper Age update, but I can understand why Minecraft didn't do it, because it is a lot of clutter. But it's definitely going to be useful for builders. And once again, these are crafted just like the other ones with the torch type, just using copper nuggets. And that is everything for the Age of Ores Copper Age Plus version 2. I think we have done quite well in the second update. We have mainly focused on building and also then feedback, because a lot of people wanted to see the changes to buttons, as well as the changes to the Tuff Golem adding a entity, which we have done. And we did also add the spawn egg, so you can spawn these in creative mode without the need to summon them. And I think the entity is really cool, because they now wander around the world with the item they pick up off the ground. One thing to note, they will never swap the item out. So once they hold an item, until you take it off of them, they will not pick up another item. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments. If you have any feedback or suggestions, do let us know, and we'll definitely look into making some of them. I will see you guys in another one very soon. Make sure to subscribe and stay tuned, because we have another mod releasing very soon. And a lot of you guys probably know what that is related to, and I definitely wouldn't miss it. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye!